Hello there, it's Simone. Today is May 1st and that's why I want to do a flip through of my April planner. I'm still using the Stalogy A6. However, if you look at it like from here, this is where April is and you can't really see it because it's hidden from this weekly tab. If you look where May starts, and how much paper is still left, I assume I might, it looks like from just measuring with my eyes that maybe May and June will fit in here easily, and then I might switch after June into a different notebook because then this might be full. But we will see and see how it turns out. I will start and flip through from April to all the way through today. And I'm just gonna talk you through this and show you what I did and how well it was used. I switched into this Hobonichi cover. It usually has another pen loop right here, but in my last flip through, I had the idea to take this pen loop out and leave this one in. I have another one where I took both out because the way to close the notebook just doesn't work for me that well. And it's super annoying to have those pen loops there, but this really works well for me. So yeah, I took it out and I do have, it's not fabric glue, it's double-sided glue that I use for sewing. It's a tape. It's a German brand. I don't even remember what it's called, but it works like Wonder Tape or other tapes where you just double-sided tape would work. And I just added a strip underneath, pressed firmly, and now it doesn't stand open. The front pockets aren't really decorated because I'm not a decorator. I still have some of those Instagram stickers that I made onto these are labels, and I purchased a huge batch of them at Costco, and I'm using them probably until the end of my life. And I'm using them for labels for everything as well as making my own stickers. And then this is a stencil, which I love using for the squares. I am super, not particular, but it brings me so much joy when these squares look uniform. Yeah, so April. The tab stickers that I use are from the Style Planner, and they work really nicely on the size fits the A6 really nicely. It's not too tiny and it's not too big, works great. So I started out April. I set up my month right at the last day of April, of March. So I finished March and then started adding my stuff. That's exactly the same way I did it for May as well. I printed this free printable from Mr. and Mrs. Mint. I added a sticker from a Cocoa Daisy kit from last April that I was trying to use up because I still had it complete in my stash and I just wanted, I want to use up the things that I have. I put in things that I wanted to work on, which I haven't gone through this and actually transferred and moved tasks that I didn't get to. I actually did not do most of these things, and I considered adding this to May, but I went ahead and added it even though I wasn't very successful with my April tasks. I put a monthly in here before actually thinking about what I would put on here. And the only thing I added was birth dates. I started participating in a mystery knit along. And then on April 7th, I started the 30-day yoga challenge from Yoga with Adrienne. And that's what I did then. I added in the title of the practice that I did, and I continued this all throughout April. Then I added the projects that I wanted to work on during April, the knitting projects here. These are the ideas that I had during April. Again, I did not like review my month and finish everything out, and I still need to do that, but there's no rush since we are still in shelter in place and my life is different and not as busy as it was before. This is my spending. I'm trying to keep my spending low. These are all the things that I purchased for knitting and sticker stuff. This was just to visualize how much money I spent on fun stuff. But as I am slowly easing into urban gardening, if this becomes obsessive and I purchase more and more and more, I might add the gardening things in here. Now that makes sense. This was my meal plan and it worked out really well. I still need to add the last days of April, but for meal planning in the future, I can come here and just refer to this and see what we made, see how I alternated between meals so that it wasn't boring. That's what I really like about this. Here is where I put ideas that I haven't really worked into the weekly meal planning schedule, and then we start with April. I am not setting up my month in or week, whatever, anything up in advance. So I am just, when it's Wednesday or the Tuesday, March 31st at night, I sit down at my Wednesday, April 1st sticker. Then I think about the things that I want to do the next day, ideally. In practice, this has been usually that I get up, I do yoga, I have breakfast, I shower, and then I add my date sticker and make my list. I'm just trying to, right now I support my children during their school day, and it is actually, I don't really get to do anything. So taking those 15-20 minutes to set this up while I'm waiting for someone to call, Mom, can you come over here and help me? It's just something that I can do during that time. So I'm not really that stressed if I haven't set it up before. This is what it looked like. I think in March I did. Nope, I changed in February. This is interesting. I thought I did it later. So this is what it looked like before. I had one page, one day. And now in April, I'm just going, adding as much as I want per day, adding stickers, and then I'm adding the next sticker and adding all of my notes for the day, and then add the next sticker. And it's really, it's kind of like an ongoing notebook that gets a new date every day. When the next day's here, I'm just gonna add my date sticker, and then I'm putting in my tasks, I'm putting in my notes, and then I'm moving on to the next day. The only difference, or sometimes when I have projects where I know that I want to spend more thought on this, I will add more notes to this, then I'm starting a new page, but everything else is just ongoing text, kind of, well, notes, bullet points, whatever you want to say. I'm using a lot more stickers, as you can see. And this is a free printable from Create with Pen. And then for every week, I prepare the week with a week number. then I add meals, and then I add Instagram ideas. And then the next page is a to-do list for the week, an ongoing to-do list. So I add to this throughout the week. And then when I set up my day, I check back, what do I still need to do? I pick some of those tasks here, and then add my to-do list, add the rest, and then add my notes at the end of the day. And yeah, so again here, Tuesday at the bottom of the page, continued over here, Wednesday. And then, so here the blue pen is the notes or memories for the day. They were still in bullet points. And then throughout the month, so this is, let me just continue this thought and then I'll tell you what this is. I started to actually kind of like write little paragraphs for each of the stickers, kind of. And that started around that week, the week after Easter. So that Saturday is what my plans were. One of the tasks was ink up pens, and that's what I did. I inked up my pens. I wrote with the pens. I tested them out. This was the first final draft of the ink and the pen. Then I put down the prices for the ink. Some of them I just own samples, and also the ink properties. Now I remember. And then once I was done with this and the next day started, I just added this here. There was lots of space, and that was a Sunday, and then the next week started. So I didn't plan on finishing this page, so I just added this sticker right here. Again, I set up my next week. I tried to set it up with a fountain pen, but as you can see here, I wasn't happy with the results, and so I just cut out the page and redid it again. And then here's my to-do list, and then another thing I wanted to try is just keep it in one ink color. Did not work, so I went back to writing with my to-dos with red, my notes with blue. And yeah, so this is obviously the week where I started to kind of write paragraphs, sentences, and I just put a sticker and then added in the text, and then I added the next sticker and added the text, and I'm trying to make it visually appealing, but yeah, that's just how this turned out to be. And then for some reason I went back to having one page per day, but not because this is planned. I'm still setting this up as I go, but just because I had so much to write. And once I was down here, it didn't make sense to add my Saturday sticker here, add one task, and then continue over here. So the Friday and Saturday are very wordy. Sunday as well. I loved this poetry. It comes from over here. I really liked that, and so I decided to add it here. And then I had this tiny creative moment where I made something out of this. And then I added my day right below. So Sunday again, so I had some space here, added some washi tape, washi strips. Then I set up the next week. Meal plan or meal ideas for the week, Instagram ideas, to-do list, and then next day. So here, I really enjoyed, I still enjoy working in my planner like this. So I have my tasks and my journaling. This usually sits open on my desk, and then for some reason I switched from note-taking in blue to note-taking in black. Often the tasks are tiny, so I add some kind of embellishment over on the right side next to the task. I absolutely love layering stickers on top of each other here and here, 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 where else? here and here. I love how these just look like they belong when you nestle them together and layer them on top of each other. So yeah, so these basically, most of them are 1 page per day. I even exceeded 1 page for that Wednesday. Then I have Thursday here, Friday here. And then I started on Saturday. I took notes on a face mask pattern that I sewed that day. So I took my notes. I only needed this much space, so I added my date right underneath. Added 2 lines so I would still be able to differentiate between those two. And then I have my Sunday. And then, because the Sunday ended over here, I have my weekly planning on this page. Well, maybe I can just put it over here. Again, layers, like tiny layers, or this. I really love how this turned out. I absolutely love how this looks. My meal plan, my Instagram ideas, and to-do list, and then my Monday. Then I have already taken notes for my next yarn talk video. Here is research that I did on some roots pouches. There was space left here, but I didn't want to start Tuesday over here, so I just created this fun cluster to take note that on April 28th we have been in, well, not quarantine, shelter in place for 42 days. And then this is this week, so I haven't really reviewed any tasks yet. I'm just using these book flags, sticky page flags, to highlight everything that I haven't done yet. And yeah, so again, I love the layers. The to-do list is in red. My notes are on the bottom. I do not have any gardening stickers, so this is a stamp that I, again, put on label paper, and I actually colored them in over here. I have my to-do lists here, and there was a schedule, so I added the dates, the times right here, put in my notes here, and for Wednesday I actually used 1.5 pages. And then Thursday I crammed down here because yesterday was the last day of April, and I wanted to start May on the next page. So I printed this printable just a bit larger so that it would fill the page even more. I marked a shop update that I want to see and maybe purchase in May. I added this freebie from the Style Planner as kind of a pretty divider, and I actually added the tab right on there so that this is where I'm flipping to when I open up May. And then instead of drawing my own monthly, I printed the yoga schedule from Yoga with Adrienne. She puts together a playlist every month and a schedule for yoga practices, and I love the way she teaches yoga, so I'm just going to follow her calendar. And I didn't think that I needed to draw this and copy this, so I just printed it out. However, I'm not done with the 30-day yoga challenge yet, so I just used whiteout to white out all the days that I still need to finish the yoga challenge, and then I will skip into the May calendar. And then in June I don't have that problem anymore. I can just print the one that she offers, and she actually creates a playlist on YouTube for all of those yoga practices, which is absolutely awesome, and I love that it's free. So yeah, so I added this in here, and then this is my meal plan for May. Obviously there isn't anything here yet. And then the next stuff that I set up, I put in more next actions in May ideas because first of all, the California is being opened very slowly, so I might need to actually do more out of the house. And also my plate has gotten bigger again. I feel like I'm not adjusted or accustomed to the way this new normal, but I do feel like I am able to not just get up and make sure my family survives, knit for 2 hours and then go back to bed. So I think I can put more on my plate right now. Let's see if that works. So then I will need to write and make lists. That's what this is for. And then this is today. I'm working on my flip through. We're working on laundry, and then another sticker cluster right here. That's my to-do list, and I think, wow, I didn't write it in red. Maybe something is changing. We will see. It might swap to the other side again, to the other color, who knows. And then I will probably journal down here or add even more to-dos if I think of something. And then, yeah, so that's my April. I have these free printables in here where I just write down the YouTube videos that I publish. This was one of the test weeks from last year. There's more pen and ink testing. I have one of those sticker papers from a sticker sheet glued back in here, and when I almost finish a sticker sheet and I decide I'm moving out of it, this is this one that I'm still keeping just for Saturday. Well, maybe I could just put this over here and then put this over here. Okay, so this is now, for me, I decided this is finished. I'm not going to use these stickers, and I'll put it away and dump it, but I have all of those that I can use during my planning in the next month. I made this folder with scrapbooking paper. I have my exercise tracker, which looks awesome now because I have started the yoga challenge and I do that every day. And then I have some school papers and car stuff, and then I have my flossing tracker. And then I have this weekly Hobonichi insert in here. And what I use this for is to just write down the school days. Sometimes when I remember or when I brainstorm my to-do list for the next week, I put it here. And then if I know that I want to do something on a specific day, I put the to-do right here. So when I set up my Thursday, I know that I need to check Google Classroom for stuff that my kids need to make up on Thursday. I decorated it with a little bit of stuff, and this is what next week's looks like. I haven't set up next week, so it's empty. So that is what my planner looks like. This is how I use it. I wrap this elastic around and have my pen in here, and this is where it goes with me. Everywhere, from the couch to the kitchen counter to the table to my bed. And then I also carry this with me. It has my stickers, and you can start to see gaps in it, tiny gaps. So I have used labels, but what I did is these sticky tabs from Muji, I used them to actually write the topics. I have sorted these stickers by topic, and yeah, it's easier to find what I'm looking for. And I thought it was a brilliant idea, and maybe you haven't thought of this yet, and it's something that you want to do too. Alrighty then, I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.